Alright guys, welcome back. CFP here, and this is Survival Living. Now today's video, guys, we're going to go back, and I missed some comments that I needed to respond to during our last live stream. And I do apologize that I missed these comments, guys. The screen was just going by way too fast, and I got a call from one of our mods, and hey man, you missed a couple questions. Yeah, I did, and it was my fault for missing those. We just weren't set up for the live stream. I was trying to go off just a mobile. So I do want to go back and review these and answer these comments because they are very important. They're important questions. First off, though, I want to take the time and encourage everybody to go visit Martin Johnson Off-Grid Living. This is a channel, guys, that I have been watching for nearly 2 years, I believe it is, and I watch every video that they got. They do a lot of their off-grid living. They're building their home. Well, they actually built their home. They're building extra additions to their houses in North Idaho. Martin Johnson and his family's there. Got some clips up there for you guys. I am not playing any video because I did not ask permission for that, but I'm sure he would have been fine with that. His link is in the comment section of this video, guys, so please definitely go subscribe to him, be part of his community. He's a great guy. I don't like many people. I like them. All right, so there you go. All right, so let me go ahead and get into the comments. All right, so the first comment, guys, comes from Scan Family. Scan Family's been with us for a very long time here on this channel. The question is, CFP, do you know a company that sells low lactose milk in powder form? To answer that, man, I have been going through everything on the internet trying to find what you're asking for. I have not come across anything, not for a long-term food storage item. We have a great community here, so guys, if you know of a low lactose milk in powder form with a long shelf life, definitely put that in the comment section. If it disappears, it just means that YouTube has hit it, and when I come back later on this evening, I'll find it in the held comments and I'll release that if it's got a website or something like that. So it's a very good question. Unfortunately, I do not have the answer for you, the special one that you're looking for, but hopefully someone here in our community can find that answer for you and get that posted up. Alright guys, so before we get too far into the video, I want to give a special thanks to Smart Girl NYC. Really do appreciate that PayPal that you sent us the other night, and your message was, get some prep candy on me. We will. We do prep candy, like I talked about in the live stream. Morale booster foods, candy, stuff like that. Sure, the nutritional value is not there, but having that morale booster is going to be there, okay? Having some type of dessert, some type of candy, just take your mind off. I mean, that's why they put candies and stuff like that in MREs. It's a morale booster. There's a reason for it. So yeah, we will be investing that into more of that. Now, we do have a lot of that on hand. We've done many videos in the past, back when we were in a popular, when we started vacuum sealing and prepping candies and stuff like that. No, that's not the majority of our preps, but it is preps. And again, I do appreciate that, guys. Those PayPal links and stuff like that, that is never required here on this channel. It does help us out on this channel. Same with our merchandise that we started selling. The Legacy Food, we still are affiliated with those guys, and we still sell Legacy Food products. Legacy Food also has survival products. They have solar, they have all kind of equipment there. So yeah, we do have those links there. Never required to buy it. I encourage you to go take a look at it if you want to take a look at what they've got new and stuff like that. And when you do click on those things, we get a percentage of those sales. Now, not by clicking, but when you actually purchase something, we actually get a percentage of sales that goes to us. It doesn't cost you more to go through us. Actually, we just get a percentage of the sales that go to us. So anyway, definitely appreciate that. So another question we had, guys, is my door bulletproof? Okay, now I believe someone was asking if their home door was bulletproof because it had metal on it. Depends on, I'd have to see the door. Most homes that have the metal face doors, they're not bulletproof. It's real thin, okay? It's usually hollow or some type of foam material on the inside. It's not bulletproof. Even a hardwood door is not bulletproof. And it just depends on the caliber around hitting that door. So the thought process of hiding behind a door because it's got metal on it, no. We see a lot of misinformation on movies and TV shows, okay? The bullets ricocheting off the side of a car, people hiding behind their car door while it's under fire. Not be on the other side of a car. Personally, if you're under fire in a vehicle, get out, get near the engine block or the front wheel, hide behind that while the fire is coming from the other side. But get out of that situation. I see people in the movies, they stand, flip their driver's side door open, and they stand there and they shoot their firearms while they're receiving rounds back. And the rounds back are sparking off the door of the vehicle. No. Okay. All my life, I've been a hunter. I've been around firearms my whole life. And a car door gets shredded, all right? A .22 will bounce off of a car door, but there's a lot of hollow spots on a car door. If you ever, as I'm a mechanic too, I replace window motors, things like that all the time. There's a skeleton inside, usually made of tubing and some flash and stuff like that on the inside, but there's a lot of hollow space in there. A 9mm would go right through, and if you're standing there, you're gonna get hit. And you got a big old piece of glass window on the, your driver's side door window. A bullet's gonna go through that. It's not bulletproof glass. So, I don't know. I see a lot of people with the misconception that SHTF is going to be Wild West as far, well, it will be, but they think that they are going to be running around with their plate carrier, with their body armor, and be unscathed. This isn't true. You will be having rounds fired at you. All right. There's a lot of people that are good shots. Okay. Well, CFP, I'm a good shot, and I'm going to tick off a lot of people here. You might be a good shot. Now, let's say that you take a scenario where you are entering a city. All right, we talked about this before. For some reason, it doesn't seem to get ingrained with people. SHTF is going on. You are in a city. You are on street level. You've got high rises all over you. Open windows because, hey, there's no air conditioning. You're going to walk right on in. Don't you think someone's going to shoot you, take a pop shot at you? Well, what I'll do, CFP, is I'll scan the areas. How long does it take you to scan multitude of buildings and windows compared to if you're in reverse roll? You're in the window, you're watching street corner, you got one spot to look at. And here comes some idiot with plate armor on, and it's just covering the vital parts of their chest. And they're going to stop and they're going to scan all the windows. Not going to make it. Need to wake up. All right. I'm not trying to piss off anybody. It's just that there's this false idea of supremacy of, I'm a prepper, I have a gun, I have an AR-15, I am untouchable, I will win. No. Do I recommend having an AR-15? Sure, absolutely. That's a nice platform rifle. In the Air Force, we had M16s. Basically, the same thing. All right, real simple design, easy to clean, easy to maintain. But this mentality that you're going to be running around unscathed or victor in every battle skirmish is ridiculous. You need a group. Well, I'm just going to gray man it. All right, gray man is something. Okay, things have gone down. I'm just going to slip in gray man, blend in. If the roles were reversed and I was stuck on sentry duty watching a intersection or a pavilion area where commerce is going, something like that, and I'm seeing an individual that's blended, I'll be watching every single move someone does. And I'm sitting there watching them, and I see that they have some type of firearm concealed or something like that. Yes, I'm calling it in. They're going to be rounding that individual up. There will be a firefight, more than likely. I know, I'm going to tick off so many people on this. You know what? I really don't care if I tick off people. And people need to wake up. There is a dangerous situation that is coming our way. And these movie ideas of supremacy, because you have a rifle and you have a plate carrier, oh, I got level 3 rifle armor, doesn't do jack with a headshot. Doesn't do jack when you get shot in the arm. All right. Oh, well, it's just an arm wound. No, you're going to die of infection. All right. Or you're going to bleed out because you don't have a surgical team with blood transfusions on the ready. All right. You want to separate yourself from that threat. Now, does that mean you stay in hiding forever? No, of course it doesn't mean to stay in hiding forever. But when everything first goes down, stay the hell out of those areas. Don't get in there. This mentality, I'm going to go in and I'm going to put law and order down. You know what? Go ahead. Go ahead. All right, you just don't even listen to what I'm trying to explain to you. When I'm trying to say common sense thing, it's like it goes in one ear and out the other. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Now to the nitty gritty. So the video yesterday was putting the survival buckets in the ground. All right. Now, I had some comments that were more questioned. I don't think many people fully understand the process of it, which is cool because, you know, we're a community here, so we try to exchange information as much as possible. I'm going to try to go off the top of my head here. Hold on, let me go and pull it up. Okay, guys, so one of the first ones is by John Gibson. Okay, John said, I buried food, I buried seeds, and a grocery store appeared in my yard. LOL, your water table is high. Walk uphill, dig, or pull the dirt out of a hole and pile it onto the pails, maybe. John, that's a very good comment there. Yes, our water table is high. What I failed to mention is that we just had a real heavy rainstorm 2 days prior. All the stuff around the trailer was completely flooded. It's just so much water could not saturate in the ground. That's really why the water was quite that high. Usually about 3 feet down, you start hitting muck. We don't really have an issue with buckets floating, okay? Because one, the weight of the bucket, and then the weight of the dirt on top of it. Now, those weren't particular ones were only 5 to 6 inches deep because we just did that for the video alone. We actually bury ours a lot deeper just because I like that was going to sound really weird. I was going to say I like it deep. That's not what I'm trying to say. We put our buckets in the ground deep just because for security thing. I don't want anybody walking over or anything like that. I've actually seen people take plywood and lay over top of their buckets and then cover dirt over it just to help give it more secure, more platform security in case someone walks over it. So yeah, I do understand what you're talking about, floating buckets. We've never had a problem with that. We've had people, there were some more comments saying, hey, your bucket's gonna float away. We've never had a problem with that. We've been doing this for, man, 3 years now, putting buckets in the ground, never had any issue. So I mean, the buckets that we pulled out to do our other video the other day, which is in the description, showing you how to build them, those were buckets that we already pulled out, and they've been in the ground since March of 2020. Here it is, late October. Never had any issue. Okay, guys, so the next one is a very good one. Miss Sissy in a Van. She commented, seems like it would be easier to put it in a box and use a magic marker, put it in the shed. Here lies Aunt Betsy. Okay, using camouflage, you know, maybe it was cremation stuff, you know, just a diversion on the box. I'm all for using diversions. The only thing about putting food in a shed down here in Florida, unless it's climate control, it's no more. Have you ever gotten to a car that's been sitting out in the sun, summer sun, all day long, and you open up the door, sit down, everything's so hot you may burn yourself on the leather seats, stuff like that? The sheds do that down here when they're not climate controlled. So when you start putting food that needs to be climate controlled, canned goods, things like that, you have an optimal temperature range you need to be using. You do not want to put all that food out there and there's no way to control the temperature. It will go bad, and it'll go bad quick, and they just lost all those preps. I saw that she followed up with, does burying it control the temperature inside the buckets? Yes, it does. When you bury things into the ground, it's just like the same aspect of a root cellar. You want to make sure that you're below frost level. That way the temperature, frost level just shows you where the temperature range, when it gets cold, shows how deep that cold will go down, and also goes to the same with how deep that heat's going to go down. So getting below that does keep a constant temperature. It works like a root cellar except you use buckets. So that's what we're doing there. And that was a great comment. I really do appreciate that. So let's go on to the next one. Okay guys, so this is one I really do like, and I did not put any much thought in because I haven't noticed any issues. Nancy Walker has asked, have you had any problem with ants, or is it because it's buried not like a potted plant sitting on top of the ground that ants get in? Very good question. I have not had any issues with ants penetrating those buckets or getting through the plastic bags. In the past, I have no issues with that. But it does bring up concern. You know what, since it is sealed, you could throw some type of fire ant deterrent around the bucket, because it's not getting into the bucket. It's not going to affect the food quality or anything like that. It's not going to bother your food inside the bucket. But you see the fire ant granules that kills fire ant beds? Might be a good idea to sprinkle some around the bucket area inside the hole. Might be a good idea. So that was a very good comment there. We haven't had any problems with it, but always gets you thinking. So okay, so here's another comment here, posted up here for you guys. What about the ones who live in HOAs, Homeowners Associations? My advice, don't tell them. There you go. My brother lived in a homeowners association there in Indiana there for a bit, and he had a privacy fence in his backyard. There you go. You got security right there. No one's going to be looking at what you're doing. Oh, well, it's just so loud. You know what? Make some noise. Turn your lawnmower on. Have your lawnmower running right there in the backyard, all right, next to the fence, whatever. They think you're cutting the grass, dig your hole, put your bucket in, seal it up, finish cutting your grass. Perfect cover. Okay, and this one right here, sweet savory words. Won't the air in the bags burst with the pressure of the earth? No, actually, and I did cover this in the video. Now, we just tied the bags shut. That's why we didn't use duct tape. I explained that in the video, so that when the dirt is compressed around the bags, it actually will cause a slow leak through the tied part of the bags. Now, we didn't tie a knot into it. What we did, we twisted the bags tight, and we used the strings to tie onto the bags. There actually will leak out air, all right? So that's why it's just to add protection. That's why we have it on the top. It actually doesn't get flooded out. I've only had one bag with water in it, and that was, I think that was on the inside or the outside bag. It was tied wrong years ago, but it still doesn't affect anything. It's just an extra level of protection. No, it doesn't bust the bags. Those are the stretch bags anyway. You can use contractor bags, whatever, as long as it doesn't leak. We didn't have any issues with the bags bursting. So when the dirt gets compressed around those buckets, it matches pressure, and then more it settles, the more it leaks out of those tied in areas. So yeah, we've never had any bags burst. Okay, so one was not a comment, one was left during the premiere chat. We'll go and discuss that right fast. The question was, or the saying was, having water in the hole will cause our food to go bad. No, that it won't. If I just chunk the food in a hole with water in it, yeah, of course it will. But that plastic bucket is sealed. It's air sealed and it's water sealed. Once we seal our lids, we duct tape them. Some people like to use Gorilla Tape. Hey, Gorilla Tape works really well. That is sealed, okay? There's nothing getting through that bucket, all right? Then we wrap them with the plastic bags. Some say you don't have to have them. I just like taking the extra precaution and do it anyway. Once it is in the ground, it doesn't matter if there's water rushing around it or anything else. it's not going to affect anything in the inside. I have seen a comment, what about condensation inside the bucket because of the water? No, there might be an initial bit of condensation that developed because of the temperature of the air in the bucket first going into the ground when you first cover it up, but it's not something that's going to keep on prevailing over time. The reason why is because the temperature underground is an even temperature, so the bucket will cool down to the temperature underground, and it's why we vacuum seal food that goes inside of it. Give me 1 second, I'll grab something for you. Alright, so we vacuum seal, guys. Alright, so some of those buckets have rice, is vacuum sealed. Flour is vacuum sealed. This here, it can get wet all it wants to. It's not leaking. It is vacuum sealed. It is hard as a rock. It is not, nothing's going to penetrate this, okay? So even if condensation was to get in the bucket, your food is vacuum sealed. It's not going to penetrate this because there is very little air, if any air at all, inside these vacuum sealed bags. Alright, so that concern, it is a very good concern. It's not one that we have to worry about with these survival buckets. Now, with canned goods, okay, your canned goods will produce rust with condensation if it's inside the ground, underground, and there's a lot of condensation. Yes, it will. Well, how long will it take to rust out a can that is in a survival bucket? Well, I can tell you that your canned good will expire way before that can rust out. It's going to take way too long for that can to rust out. Rust all the way through a piece of metal is a very long process, especially if it's just condensation that is sitting on it. It's going to take a very long time to rust out that metal. By that time, you've already pulled up that food and have consumed it and replaced it with other preps because of your limited time on a canned good items as far as your best by date and expiration date. So it's something you really don't have to worry about. Now, do you need to keep on top of when you put something in the ground? Date it so you know when you got to pull it out and renew? Absolutely. Absolutely need to do that. You got to stay on top of it. You don't want to have to go run to your survival buckets, pull it out, and you've got bad food because it's 6 years past date. And I'm not talking about best by date. I'm talking about its past expiration date. And yes, canned goods do expire. They don't last forever. Do they have a longer shelf life after the best by date? Absolutely. But be careful doing that. I mean, be real careful, guys. The last thing you want to do is get botulism or something. You need to be careful on eating food way past date. A lot of people say, well, I don't have to worry about it. It's past the best by date. Best by date is just for the seller's information. Okay, that's all that is. It's just the quality of taste, stuff like that. If you see an expiration date and it says expires in, toss it. Do not eat food that says expired by. You don't want to get sick. You do not want to get sick during SHTF. You don't, all right? So anyway, guys, hopefully that bit of information helped clear up a lot of stuff. Again, guys, I definitely appreciate everybody. Oh, excuse me. I've got the hiccups. I do appreciate everybody that's here, everybody's comments that come in. We all learn a lot of great stuff together. Like I said, I don't know everything there is, but what I do know, I like to present to y'all. I'm not going to try to give bad information out or anything like that. If I screw up, I've always came out and said, hey guys, I was wrong in this, blah, 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 and I try to fix it. I don't just cover it up, oh, well, no, I don't do that. Anyway, guys, definitely appreciate y'all being here. Definitely catch us later. We'll be doing a live stream this coming Wednesday, and it'll be Friday again. So we'll have 2 live streams this week. Talk to y'all later.